A community interest company is a very particular form of company that ensures that community benefits are returned direct to the community. So the community interest company, we call it the KIC for short, is an institution, a new model that can really capture local benefits and make sure that the residents or businesses locally can benefit from any of the interest or money or capital that's generated at a local level and can control that. It actually is a form of social enterprise, and it's a sort of legally constituted social enterprise that can ensure that those gains are actually felt by the community themselves.
Well, Barking Riverside is a partnership, it's a public-private partnership between a private sector developer called Bellway Homes and the Regional Planning Authority, the Greater London Authority. It's an innovative bottom-up approach to community governments. The KIC is made up of BRL at the moment and 2 members from the local council. The idea with the KIC is that eventually it will be a bottom-up approach to local governance so that the community are in total control of identifying issues, identifying challenges, finding solutions that are sustainable and applicable to the community as it develops over essentially a 15-year process. That's correct. The KIC owns the public realm as well as it has a social inclusion function. So it acts to provide services for the local community that are most needed by the community. For example, it may run creches, it may run local employment programs, but really the KIC is meant to be resilient and change depending on the times and the demands for the community as and when the issues are raised. The ownership is currently 51% owned by Bellway Homes, which is a private developer, and 49% by the Greater London Authority. Eventually, the ownership of the KIC will pass down to the residents, who will manage and own the assets and collect revenues to ensure that they can run those open spaces and public facilities.
I think the crucial thing for the KIC to be effective is that people think from the outset, how is it going to be managed? What are the governance structures? So what's the best way to ensure the community interests? In the example of Barking Riverside, the community is growing. At the moment it's small, but over the next 15 to 20 years it will grow. So the challenge and the opportunity for this community interest company is how do you ensure that those core principles about the community benefiting directly from its local assets are captured and made the most of from the start, but that the governance structure, if you like, is flexible enough that that can change and adapt over time, because obviously people's needs will change and their interests will adapt, and as the community grows there'll be new people coming in. So that's the key for the community interest company at Barking Riverside, is to how to capture and make the most of that fluid situation, but to always ensure that the community benefits are at the heart of what it does.
The development only began in 2010, so at the moment you have around 600 homes built, and the idea is that when it's fully developed over a 15-year period, you'll have close to 11,000 new homes. Translating that's about 30,000 new residents. So we're only about 7% down the line. The KIC is set up as a shadow board, so at the moment it's managed, there's directors are from the council, 2 directors from the council and 2 directors from BRL. As the development builds out in stages, essentially representatives from the community will be voted onto the board and will replace the directors in place at the moment.
the community interest company is a UK legal form, but the principle and the model could certainly be applied across Europe. And we've had interest from Rome, for example, who are quite interested to know whether a similar model where a company is set up to specifically benefit the local community could actually be set up there as well. And I think the transferable elements from Barking Riverside Community Interest Company are around that, you know, the governance and how you ensure representation for residents, both current residents and future residents, and those principles would be transferable to other European cities.